Alright, hello, hello, hello. Welcome again to Otis Frampton Live. Looks like everything's working well. Just give me a second here to get all set up. Alright, so today we're going to be doing some painting of dragons. I'll be watching the chat, so please let me know if you can hear me and all that good stuff. I'm just going to jump right, well, actually, not jump right in. I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. So this is for the March of Dragons. I'll do it this way here. I've done it the last 2 years where I do drawing prompts for dragons, and hopefully doing it again in 2025. So I'm going to use this time, these Tuesday afternoons, to do sketches. And here's last year's prompt list, and here's a few of the dragons that I've colored that I've done over the last couple of years. I haven't really colored that many. They're just, fun coloring exercises, something that I can do easily. Oh, and then there's my self-portrait. Me as a dragon. And today I'm going to get to work on this undersea one. I can kind of take you through, I remember the best what I've done so far. So here's the original sketch. I'm looking at this original sketch here, and I almost feel like I kind of got away from the sinister look in his eye. I'm going to save that as a screenshot there and go through here. And then I printed it out to blue line, inked it. Yeah, something got lost in the expression a little bit, I think. Sometimes I feel like I need to go back to the original sketch to get the impression. Then so anyway, after I inked it there, I scanned it in, and I decided to redo the line art because I knew I wanted to color this, so I needed sort of a clean version of it, and I wanted to redo it anyway. And then I decided, I'm gonna redesign I'm gonna put a foreground in there and redesign the dragon a little bit. And as you can see, the aspect ratio also kept changing. I kept deciding on how I wanted to really compose this thing. And there's me re-inking all the stuff. And this morning I put the finishing touches on the foreground stuff and then recropped it, so it's a little bit more widescreen now. Okay, I think now I'm gonna import that screenshot I just took. Let's drag it up here. I just want there's something in that initial sketch that I'm just now seeing might have been lost. So what I'll do is set it to multiply so that I can get in here. And yeah, the eye was, well, I changed the shape of the head, that's for sure. But I'm liking the bigger eye. I feel like it gives. So, switching things up here, calling an audible. I'm gonna ink over this initial sketch again, because when I inked it before, I was inking traditionally, and sometimes because I'm not really that good at inking traditionally, a little bit of my original intent will be lost just by the nature of using traditional tools as opposed to digital tools. So let me see what I can do to bring a little bit of attitude back. I kind of like the sleekness of his. Yeah, he looks more I made the guy look happier, and that wasn't my initial intent. This is kind of a fun lesson in, original intent. Let's see if I can go back to what I originally thought. Oh, I gave him an eyebrow there, or eyebrow ridge there. I do that once in a while, and sometimes it pays off by looking at how you really started. Because one of my rules is trust your layouts, trust your initial sketches. Sometimes, as artists, we tend to think that we can improve on things, and sometimes that initial burst of creativity is what works best. And by refining it, you can lose it by trying to improve it. So let's see if we can bring a little bit of this guy's character back. Looks like I had some sort of ridge idea here. Alright, we'll get rid of that. We'll turn on the lines here, and we'll see if we can fit it back in. Yeah, I do like I gave him like a bigger horn, and it takes something away from the sleekness. Same with the higher ridge. It's just not as good. Let me erase this. I do like the new fin though, so I'm going to keep that. Maybe give it like that. No, let's finish this. I feel like it's missing some. Maybe a second ridge. No, that doesn't work. I'll just leave it be, or maybe extend the ear. This is kind of fun for me, actually, like figuring out what I lost and trying to get it back. There. Sorry if I'm missing some chat here. How's everyone doing today? I got kind of lost in the creative act. Yeah, God, that's so much better. He looks much more determined and evil, or maybe not evil, just hungry. I'm glad I changed that. Yeah. Another aspect is the bigger sort of nose. It took away from like this, directs the eye to his eye. Oops. Okay. I'm gonna solo this so I can fix the flats now. There's the flats. That's weird. Oh, there we go. Just plug up the holes I made. There we go. Oh, come on, I need a more solid. There we go. That's my more solid brush. All right, we're back in business. Let me fill in something. I have the original line art that's, I've modified it a lot, but there's the original like scan, and I've changed it to as I've been working on the new version here. So let's just turn that off for now. And one final thing before I get going, let's separate the ship, so we can do that on its own. All right. Part of the background. Drag these up. Okay. I'm gonna throw the rest of this back. Oh, except for two things. The shipwreck stuff, put that up there. All right, let's ditch all this out, all the stuff we don't need. Come back here. All the background. We'll create another folder. Let's call it C, just so we have some background stuff. Keep it light for now. We'll keep it lighter. There. Now we can at least see the flats. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a mother color over the whole thing. Just sort of a. Let's find it. Let's do that. And we'll do a secondary one. It's a little more blue, a little more, where is it? There we go, let's go with this one. Oh, that didn't work. Where's, oh, that's why, gotta put it over there. So I'm gonna adjust this, put it up top here. Blur it a little bit. There. Now we have sort of a base color. I'm gonna, or a base overlay color, so I know what I'm kind of working towards. Let's throw this. Ooh, that's immediately interesting. Throw this down just to get a sense of the lighting. Let's do another one. Drag this up a bit. Oops. Come on, there we go. And one more. Just give it a little bit of blur on there. There. Now we got a little bit of lighting in there, just to start things out, and a nice little lighting. It's a natural spotlight there, showing where we want the eye to go anyway. So that works. We will add to that. This is just preliminary. But the first thing I'm going to do here is change the song I'm listening to, that's for sure. Start shading the dragon. Do I have, I thought I had it instead of dragon. Yeah, I do have that. I'm trying to remember what I was using to shade the other guys. Is it this? Yeah, I think it was something like that. And I had a little bit of grit in it. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's got a little bit, a bit of spottiness, and I kind of liked how that was laying down on the dragons. It's a kind of a jelly. It's got a jelly feel to it. You can kind of see it. There's a little bit of a drag. But I like that it had a little bit of grit and it's softer than I usually do for shading. And when I want to cut away, what am I going to use? Maybe this. Let me test this out as an eraser. Yeah, that works. Just letting this guy. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw some color onto the dragon. Probably going to choose some kind of warm color. I'm not sure if I'll keep that. Oops. Looks like to do that I'm going to need to do something else. I'll throw this up here. For now, we'll just use this as a color overlay. Put it down. Might need to darken up the dragon. I'm not sure. That's fine for now. You know what I also want to do here? Let's throw some. So the light shafts will be coming down in the ship's wake, but I really want it strong right here, and then a little bit over here where the wake isn't touching it yet, just to frame things, but really strong right here. Keep that. Alright, where was I? That's the wrong layer. Layer management, so important. Let's just get this guy covered where he's going to be shaded a lot. We can cut away when we need to, but that wing's going to be covering up a big area here. And we'll do cut some away for highlights and edge lighting, but I just wanted to get the basics down. This is always one of my favorite parts because I tend to do very clean line work and the form, so I don't do a lot of like spotting of blacks or hatching or anything that would indicate form. So this is where the forms of my characters start to come into play, and I can kind of see them come to life a little bit more. I tend to draw for the coloring, like knowing how I'll eventually color it. That's why I don't do a lot of texturing in the line art itself. Hey Donald. Donald's watching me over on YouTube on his big screen. How you doing today, Donald? Here's a good example of where, like, there's little hollows in the areas of the wings where the bones aren't, and you don't really get a clear sense of that until the shading starts and the coloring. But I can really bring it out here. I'm gonna try to stay focused here and finish up the shading before I get into other things. Whoops, look at that. Forgot to clean up. Whoops. Let's get rid of that. There. Okay, back to work. There's oh wow. I just had a bit of a serendipity moment. I call them Matrix moments because it's like the Matrix winking at you, but the song I'm listening to, it's a playlist, and the song just came on as Sea Green, Sea Blue. No, it's so funny. It was meant to be that I work on this today. Sea green, sea blue. That's hilarious. What are the odds? Actually, I'm just going to color this all in. It's getting too muddy, and I want the clarity of his scowl in there. There. Let's get a brighter color in there for the eyes real quick. There we go. Throw a dark color into the pupils. There. I'm on the wrong layer again, aren't I? Yes, I am. I'm gonna lock this layer so I don't do it again. For those wondering, the artist's name is J May, Jaymay, for the Sea Green, Sea Blue song I'm listening to. If you want to hear what I was listening to, sure you could find it on Apple Music, Amazon Music, Spotify, all that good stuff. I don't want to get too much there. It's better. Okay, now it's time to chip away at the light a little bit. Actually, I'm just gonna erase a lot of this fully, and it's easier to paint in the shadow sometimes, so I should not have thrown shadow on this. There, now I can do things the way I'm used to. There, that's better. Hello, Mitchell. Oh, hello from Mexico. Well, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. That's better. I think I need to a little bit of light there. I think I need a little bit more light over here. Same with his ear. that's better. That's much better. Mitchell's saying he really admires the kinds of imperfect strokes, generate homogeneous textures in the strokes. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure you do. I have not been able to achieve that because I'm still very much perfectionist and kind of avoid leaving edges on the edge of strokes. Can I ask you for some advice to mitigate perfectionism? That's an interesting question, and one of the things that I do, like with my line art, it's very clean. I tend to favor very clean line, sort of old school Disney artists, or Jeff Smith very much, Bruce Timm style. Hold on a second. But I kind of leave when it comes to the coloring. That's when I say, okay, time to be messy, time to be imperfect, and it just comes from practice. So it's muscle memory at this point. You kind of get used to it, or you get a feel for it, I should say. Get rid of this. I should have left this. Same over here. But yeah, that's where I tend to allow myself, turn the selection back on, to be imperfect, because it adds a little bit of character to the clean lines, At least I hope. So I guess what I mean is, just like everything else, it comes from practice, and at this point for me, it's muscle memory, and it's not that I try to develop this as a style. It's style is what happens when you stop thinking about how to do things. That's my opinion. So it's what became. It's what my work is. It's almost like I couldn't change it now if I tried. Let's see. Mefire Mulium says Maleficent art. I'm going to guess you mean magnificent, at least I hope. Do you want to create IDW comic book issues of Clash of Clans and Clash Royale? So I don't know what those two are. Sorry about that. So I've never considered that. So no. But I mean, if you work for IDW, feel free to send me an email. But I've got a lot on my plate right now, so I don't know if that's even possible. For those who don't know, I have a new comic series coming out in January. It's an adaptation of the 7th book of the Oz series by L. Frank Baum. So most of my time is spent doing that, but I've decided to take some time here and there to do fun stuff like this, just to keep sort of active and doing other things. Now I'm just trying to find little spots where I can add highlights here and there. I think there should be more up here. Hello, Jam over on YouTube. How you doing today? All right. Now let's I'm not sure if I... Oh, did I just bump the camera? Sorry about that. It's like I did not. Trying to... I didn't intend for the shipwrecks in the background to be light, but I'm kind of liking it. What I might want to do now is play with that a little bit. I'm going to duplicate both those layers so I can play. Let's see what happens if I make the foreground ones darker. I don't want to make them too dark. I want to have a hint of color in them still. I'm kind of liking the dark now. It kind of adds a sinister look to it. Let's throw a little haze down between the two. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Mist. That way maybe I can lighten up the foreground just slightly. Let's duplicate that haze, throw it back here. Yeah, starting to come together. Gonna get rid of all my preset layers here. I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm just gonna create some marks here. It's just going to duplicate them. Gonna flatten that. Let's make them a little smaller. Probably wondering, what the heck are you doing? Well, here's what the heck I'm doing. There. Now, instant sort of see texture in the background. The waves above will be separate from that, so I want it to be a little bit down here, maybe a little up here. There we go. Just a little bit of hazy weirdness in there. Mitchell Rampage says, okay, very well, thank you for the advice. Although there is a saying that practice makes perfect, sometimes it is good to receive the opinion. I always say practice makes better. I never say practice makes perfect. Because, I mean, who cares about perfection, right? Practice makes better. But practice is the only way to build up that muscle memory for any skill, you know? But, yeah. Get on that path. Jim on YouTube says, doing all right, watching while I work. Me too. All right, now that we've got that done, let's see. I think I can... Oh, I see what I did there. Okay. Now I know what I want to do. I've got to erase some of that haze. From there we go. It's like, why is it so dark down there, or so bright down there? Why do I keep doing that? There. So I'm gonna select that color for the dragon. I think I'm gonna have to do this. That? Oh, that's weird. It won't merge down. Oh, it's because it's locked. I locked my layers. And for now, I'm gonna cut holes in my mother colors. Come on. Bring up, where's my, there it is. There we go. Now I can alter it later, but I want to be able to see my dragon colors. S-E-E, not S-E-A. Let's throw a little bit. Oops. There we go, I made the big one. Throw a little more blue into it. There we go. Okay, now it's starting to kind of work for me. Mitchell has another question. Mitchell on Instagram. Sorry for the questions, but I wanted to ask, don't feel sorry for the questions. Wanted to ask you for another piece of advice. Just for some context, I am someone who always tries to prepare too much in order to offer something. But because of that, I feel like I limit myself to be able to sell some kind of commissions and be able to earn some money with this art thing. So how could I know if I am ready to go to war, so to speak? Do you think it is more of a leap of faith, or the idea of until you try, you not know you're ready? Just jump in. I mean, just start. Just, go somewhere and offer commissions. Yeah, just jump right in. If you can go to conventions, get a table at a convention, even if you don't feel you're ready. Here's the big piece of advice I always give to everybody for everything. Oh, did I just... Hold on a second. I'm gonna fix my camera. Make sure it's all right, so you can see. There we go. Just start. That's my advice. You'll never feel ready, ever. Even when you really are, but you still don't feel like you're ready, you'll never feel ready. I don't feel ready, but I still do what I do because I have to. I feel like you have to do it. You should do it because there's never going to be a point where you feel like, yeah, now I'm ready to get out there and do this thing. That's not going to happen. So stop waiting for that. There's always going to be a level up from what you feel like you are doing to what you want to do. There's always going to be a better or a different, or you're always, if you're an artist, there's always going to be new goalposts being set by you or others. So just get in there and do it. Don't get out of your head. Imposter syndrome is a reality, and it's going to be with you forever, probably. And even if you see people, other artists online who look like they've got that beat, I don't know that that's an accurate representation of where their head is really at. They might just be really good at the fake it till you make it thing, or fake it even if you have made it. That's how you beat imposter syndrome. You don't let it get to you. Just from a personal point of view, every time I get set up here, including today, to do this live stream, part of me is like, don't do it. This is the time that they'll find out that you're a total fraud, and you're going to ruin your reputation. You're going to ruin any chance of success. This is the one. Don't do it, buddy. Don't go live. But I have to, because this is part of part of what I've told myself I have to do. And, I still feel like a fraud. I still feel like I'm not ready. And that will never change. And I wonder, sometimes I wonder if, even if it did change, even if it did go away, that feeling of not being ready or not being good enough, that might be the end of me wanting to even try. It might be that the whole imposter syndrome thing is just part of growing as an artist, learning. In the last few years I've gotten into football thanks to my wife, who is a football fan, and watching these guys do these amazing feats, physical feats, I started to compare it to what I do and think, well, some people might watch what I do and think, how do they do that? I can't believe anybody can do that. Whereas in my mind, I know it's like, well, it's because I spent time doing it and, acquired skills. It's not just that I went out there and did it perfectly the first time. So don't think that way. Get rid of the idea of perfection. I just realized I did something silly. Forgot to color the... I'll go with a brown, but I'm going to throw some purple in there. So I hope that helps out. I wish more artists would talk about imposter syndrome and the effects and how to beat it. But I think too many people are convinced that if they do, they'll give away the store, so to speak. They'll give away the trick. I don't think I can color that yet. That's fine. Some people's insecurity forces them to protect themselves in ways that come off as confidence or even arrogance. And especially in the age of social media, I feel like that really harms up-and-comers because they feel like they have to act that way too, and they don't. Okay, what time is it? Oh, it's almost been an hour. Well, we did okay here for this first hour. I'm going to throw a little soft shadow onto... No, let's select this first. Onto the dragon here. A little soft shadow. I'll turn it up so I can see it better. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the already shaded areas. Invert that. Is that right? Yes, invert it and then cut that away. Yeah, there. So that retains my highlighted areas. Now I'll drop this down. And I'm going to do the same thing for a little bit of light. I'll change this to add. Select this. Well, I unlocked that layer and then I painted right over it. What a ding dong. There. Now in this case, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to select all the pixels on the shade layer, cut this away. There we go. There, this gives a little bit of a spotlight to Mr. Dragon. Let's refine that a little bit before. Just erase a little bit of it. We want to focus on the eyes the most. Mitchell on Instagram responds, "Thank you so much for the advice. It feels good to be able to talk to someone you admire. So believe me, I will value your advice." Really appreciate it. It's great talking to you too. One of the things that's great about being able to stream and work like this and have people watch it is an exchange of ideas. One of the best things you can do is network, especially when you're younger. Something I didn't do. Who you know is more important than you think it ever should be in the world. So network, ask for advice, connect, be forward, not too forward. Let's see, over on YouTube. Jim says, studies say children learn best when they only succeed 88% of the time. So fail upwards. Great advice, Jim. Great advice. Yeah. Fail upwards. Okay, I've taken this as far as I can take it today for the hour that I give myself. But I'm happy to see it starting to take shape. There's a lot more to do with this piece. So it's weird. I'm looking at the video. It looks bluer on the video. It's much more green to my eyes here. That's really crazy. The difference. Yeah, it looks much bluer on video. I'm kind of liking it. That's so funny. I'm gonna take a photo of that. I took a photo of the screen so I could remind myself maybe a little bit more blue in there. Anyway, yeah. So like I said, even today, I came in here and I was like, maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe I should quit. Trying to get a little more blue in there. There. Probably looks really blue on the screen now. But I want it to have sort of a blue up towards the surface and then fade to a more greener look, a more sort of sickly green look. I'll be able to see it much better when I share an image of the final piece. I'm all over the place today. Sorry about that. Tomorrow we'll be back, hopefully, unless something keeps me from coming on, like today. Like I said, I almost didn't do it just because I felt insecure. Also, I've been dealing with some administrative stuff with regard to my new comic series coming out. Got to figure some things out. But tomorrow I'll be back at 2 p.m. Central. Be working on working on a Jawa piece. I think I might actually be inking a new Jawa piece traditionally. I've got it ready to go. So we'll see if that happens. In the meantime, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I appreciate you all watching on every social media feed that I stream to you. Thanks so much and have a good day.